Welcome back to the Slushy in Film podcast with me, Nick Kuster. I am so excited to be here today. I'm so happy that you are all here today listening or watching. I have my dog here as well, who's playing with a super squeaky toy. So we're going to give this our best shot. This is episode 20 of the podcast, which is amazing. We drop weekly episodes. The days honestly vary at this point, depending on what I have going on in the week with work and all that fun stuff. But I have a super short episode today, actually, for the podcast. We are going to be solely doing the Oscar predictions, but I'm not doing every category because we'll be here all day. So I'm only doing what I would consider the major categories, and even some of the major categories I'm not touching on today. For example, I'm not touching on cinematography. That is a very big category. That is an important category, as they all are. I'm only going to be touching on about 6 to 8 of them. So I'll go through those in a second, and I'll quickly give an update on what I am watching / what I have watched recently. And I can tell you right now, it is not a lot. So let's roll. I'm staring out my window right now, and it's so windy in the Midwest today. These trees are huge trees, and they're getting blown around like it's nothing. It's crazy. All in all, welcome back, guys. Slushy and Film Podcast, episode number 20, Oscar prediction episode, which is super fun. I'm recording this only a couple days before the Oscars themselves, so this will be out for you guys to listen or watch and see what my predictions are for some of the awards at the Oscars that are on Sunday, March 15th. You probably heard the dog toy I said at the beginning. She's chosen the squeakiest toy of all the toys to play with right now. So, warning, if we get squeakiness or my dog's playing in the background, you're going to hear them, I'm sure, because they're very loud and they want to be noticed. So sorry about that in advance. But let's jump into what I'm watching. It's super short. I know I always do this at the beginning of my episodes. The only movie that I have watched since recording my last podcast was Django Unchained, another Quentin Tarantino film with Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson, Kerry Washington. It's one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino films. I think it is a great film. I have not seen it in probably at this. I mean, it's probably been over 10 years since I last saw it. I know it came out in 2012. I love it. I love Quentin Tarantino. He's amazing. His films are amazing. I don't know if Django Unchained is like, the one that people point out when they hear Quentin Tarantino's name, but I love Django. I love Django Unchained. I think it is so good. I think it is a great ride. I tell you what, Christoph Waltz is great. Obviously, not the only movie that he's in. Also, he's in Inglourious Bastards. Kind of plays this, like, I don't want to say similar, but kind of gives me a same vibe. The opening scene of Django Unchained and the opening scene of Inglourious Bastards, very, very similar in terms of the vibe and what Tarantino's trying to go for. And it sets the movie off just perfectly. And it gives you a great idea of what this movie is going to be about and the vibe about this movie. And so those are two very similar things that Tarantino does. But Django Unchained was great. It was on the top 100 IMDb list, which you actually can't see. It's on my wall on that side, on that wall over there. You just can't see it. So that was on the list. So we had to cross that, or we had to scratch that off. And Glorious Bastards also on the list, but my wife hasn't seen it yet, so we were going to watch that before we scratch that off. So, but that's it. We started The Martian last night from when I'm recording this. We did not get very far. We, let's just say, fell asleep. I've seen The Martian. Great film. Obviously a book, and the movie's done by Ridley Scott, starring Matt Damon. Book by the same author that wrote Project Hail Mary. And if you have seen anything with this podcast or listened to anything with this podcast over the past month and a half, you know that Project Hail Mary is like my number one most anticipated. And I just like, this is going to be a great film. I've already seen some numbers on Project Hail Mary, and I think it's going to live up to the hype, which is really, really awesome. So we started that to see that movie before we go see Project Hail Mary, to kind of give us the right vibe. So that's it, though. That's all I'm watching. I told you it was short. Look, this is not a long episode. This is more of an update episode, a quick prediction episode, so we can get this out before the Oscars show. My next podcast episode, I would assume I do a reaction to the Oscars. May drop early. I'm hoping it drops on Tuesday, the Tuesday after the Oscars. I am out of town from Wednesday to Wednesday, the next Wednesday to Wednesday. So there will probably be no podcast or anything like that during that time frame. There won't be because I'm not going to have my stuff. So I'm trying to get a podcast out at the beginning of that week, and then it'll be towards the end of that next week. So, but that's it for what I'm watching. Let's jump in to the Oscar predictions. Obviously, the Oscars are Sunday, March 15th. I've seen 9 of the 10 Best Picture nominees. I'll be watching the last Best Picture nominee, The Secret Agent, on Saturday, the 14th, so the day before the Oscars. So I will have seen for the first time all 10 Best Picture films, which is amazing. If you listen to the last podcast, you know how I've ranked them from 9 to 1. I posted something on the Slushy and Film TikTok channel about how I felt about Train Dreams, and let's just say that I kind of got like a lot of hate for that. So it was kind of funny to see people's reactions. Also, side note, guys, do you see the black spot on the screen? I'm gonna touch my lens. Oh, what is that? Well, I that is annoying. Oh my god, do you see that? Let me put my face in it. Oh my god, look. What is that? Oh, this camera equipment. Sorry in advance for that spot on my lens. We're just gonna have to get through it, right? So let's dive into the Best Picture nominees. God, I need to like reframe myself at this point, don't I? Let's reframe as we're talking. So if you're listening to the podcast, there's something on my screen. It's really annoying, and I don't know. It's like a black spot. I don't know why it's there. So I've reframed myself. We are in a little third of the camera now. Hopefully that helps us. But sorry to everybody watching. That is really, really annoying. All right, Best Picture. I'm going to do that my prediction on that last. I'm going to run through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to run through 6 categories real quick for the Oscars. By the way, by far my favorite award show of the year. It's not even close. So I'm going to do the actress in supporting role, actor in supporting role, actress in a leading role, actor in a leading role, directing, and Best Picture. That's all. Those are really the main 6 I'm going to touch on today. However, animated film, I guess I can give my prediction because K-Pop Demon Hunters is my prediction. K-Pop Demon Hunters will win that award, and I will be super salty if they don't. I loved K-Pop Demon Hunters. You know that if you've listened to this podcast. K-Pop Demon Hunters is one of the best films I saw in 2025, and it is amazing. It came out in the summer. It's still holding strong. The music is amazing. The story is everything is amazing, guys. If you've not seen K-Pop Demon Hunters, it's on Netflix. It's animated. It will win Best Animated Film. If it doesn't, I don't know what we're doing. Like, it is by far the best animated film that came out in 2025. So that is my prediction for Best Animated Film. I will have that in its own little TikTok version to make sure I post that because that movie is so freaking good. Let's do actress in a supporting role first. So not going to go through all the nominees like that. I'm not going to do anything like that. But my pick for actress in a supporting role is Amy Madigan from Weapons. Plays the crazy aunt. If you've never seen Weapons, you should definitely see that. I believe this is the only nomination for Weapons at the Oscars. I really hope that's right. That could be wrong. So she's my pick to win actress in a supporting role. Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another, I think is the next one to consider. A little interesting to me that Tiana Taylor has lost some ground. She was winning some of the earlier awards like Golden Globe, for example, for supporting actress, and now she's kind of faltered and her odds have definitely dropped. Amy Madigan is my pick for sure to win that. Actress in supporting role, I struggle with. I think that some of the other nominees, 2 of them which were in sentimental value, were really good as well. But I think Amy Madigan's going to win. It's not who I think should win. It's who I think is going to win. So Amy Madigan is going to, in my opinion, win actress in a supporting role. Actor in a supporting role. Toss up, first of all. I think the favorite is Sean Penn from One Battle After Another. I'm going to stick with my initial bet, if that's what you want to call it. I'm going to pick Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value. He was great in that movie. He played a very, what I felt like, difficult fatherly role, and I loved him in that movie. I think Stellan Skarsgård should win this award. I'm not saying he's going to. I think, like I said, Sean Penn from One Battle After Another is a threat, probably the odds-on favorite, and I think Delroy Lindo from Sinners is a threat to win this award as well. I think this award a month and a half ago was more leaning Skarsgård. I think now it's leaning Sean Penn, and I think Delroy Lindo's got has caught some ground, has caught up. Yeah, for this award. So I think this is a toss-up for this award. I'm going to pick Stellan Skarsgård. However, Sean Penn's the favorite. So, but I'm going to stick with Skarsgård. So, Amy Madigan, actress, supporting role. Stellan Skarsgård, actor in a supporting role. Let's do actor and actress in a leading role. I'm going to start with actress because it's my best. It's the best performance of the year. Jessie Buckley is my pick to win from Hamnet. Actress in a leading role. She's my pick. She's everybody's pick. She will win. I think this will be the biggest surprise of the night if she does not win this award. She's won every other award for actress in a leading role, and I don't even think there's anybody else to really consider. Rose Byrne, any other year, would win this from If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. However, Jessie Buckley is just going to win this award. It's as simple as that. I think that's the easiest. Personally, I think it's the easiest pick of the night. I think it's the easiest pick of that show. Jessie Buckley was fantastic. If you've seen any of the Slushy and Film TikTok, if you watched my review on Hamnet or listened to my review on Hamnet, you know that I thought Jessie Buckley was hands down unbelievable in that movie, and she will win actress in a leading role. In my opinion, it's like 99%. So, congrats to her. I'm going to say it. Congrats to Jessie Buckley. Oh, look, you can see my poster now. Sorry, side note. I was looking at the camera and I was like, oh my God, my poster. Actor in a leading role. I posted a TikTok. I mentioned it on the last podcast episode. If you would have asked me like 3 weeks ago what my pick would be, it would have been Timothée Chalamet. And it's not that anymore. It is not going to be Timothée Chalamet. I am switching gears and I am going with Michael B. Jordan. I think Michael B. Jordan from Sinners will win this award. He had to play two characters, twins, in the movie Sinners. He was great. I thought he was great. I'm so happy to see that he's finally getting some ground and he's finally getting some love. I think he was awesome in this movie. I think he will win actor in a leading role. Chalamet, I think, had this in the bag 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. No, that is no more. Marty Supreme is losing a lot of ground about everything they're nominated for. And Michael B. Jordan from Sinners is going to win actor in a leading role. And I think that is amazing. He just won it at the SAG Awards that were on Netflix a couple weeks ago. And Michael B. Jordan will win this award at the Oscars. And I think it is so, so well deserved. I loved Sinners. It is my favorite movie of 2025. I am going to stick with that. I'm going to own it. Even if it does not win Best Picture, it's still my Best Picture. So Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, Chalamet, obviously still a threat. Not saying he's out of it. Also, Leonardo DiCaprio's in that category as well. And he's just, nobody said his name. So I don't think he'll win that. But Michael B. Jordan, I think, will win actor in a leading role. Which brings me down to two. Directing and Best Picture. And I think directing, I don't want to say directing's a shoe-in. It's not as much of a shoe-in as Jessie Buckley's actress in a leading role, but I do think Paul Thomas Anderson from One Battle After Another pretty much has this in the bag. It's a loaded category this year, but One Battle After Another was so good, and Paul Thomas Anderson has won almost every award I think he can for directing, so I think he will win directing. I think Ryan Coogler is a threat for Sinners. I don't think he will win it for Sinners. Maybe Sinners wins like cinematography or something like that. Also, that's my prediction for cinematography. See, so instead of doing 6, I'm doing 8 because I mentioned animation too. But Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, will win directing for One Battle After Another. And then there's Best Picture. And if you've heard my rankings on the last episode, or if you saw them on the TikTok page, my number one is not what I think is going to win Best Picture. So I'm just going to put that out there. I think what is going to win Best Picture is One Battle After Another. It's won a ton of awards already. I think Sinners can kind of compete, maybe not as much as we thought. I don't think Hamnet's competing. Marty Supreme's not really competing as much anymore. Sentimental Value's not really competing as much anymore. And then you're like, well, where do you go? And it's going to be One Battle After Another. I think it is so well deserved. I have nothing against One Battle After Another. I loved that movie. I thought everybody in that movie was fantastic. I thought there were some incredible scenes in One Battle After Another. The chase scene with the cars and how that was shot was just extraordinarily beautiful. And I've never seen anything shot like that before. I think that Leonardo DiCaprio was great. I thought that honestly, everybody in that movie I thought was just so good. I think that movie was super well done, and I think it's well deserved to win Best Picture. And so I think it will. I think One Battle is going to have a very successful night, and I'm hoping Sinners has a very successful night as well in general. But to me, Best Picture is definitely going to be One Battle After Another. So my best picture, One Battle After Another, directing Paul Thomas Anderson from One Battle After Another, actor in a leading role, Michael B. Jordan from Sinners, actress in a leading role, Jessie Buckley from Hamnet, actor in a supporting role, I'm going with Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value, and then of course actress in a supporting role, I'm going with Amy Madigan from Weapons, even though I don't know how confident I am in that one or the actor in a supporting role, but got to make a pick. So, I told you it was going to be a short episode. It's a short episode. Like, I knew what I was doing today. I didn't want it to be crazy. Like, we got to get this prediction out there before the Oscars airs, and it's going to be a great show. So it's on Sunday, March 15th. ABC. My next podcast episode is going to be a reaction to all of it. So I'm going to be reacting to all the awards. Obviously, I will not bring up everything because I'll be here all day. But I am going to bring up, maybe what I'm most surprised by, what was a no-brainer, and stuff like that. So as always, like, thank you. I can't believe this is episode 20 of Slushy and Film, by the way. That's absolutely insane. I thought maybe I'd make it to 10 and I'd be like, yeah, I think we're kind of good. Like, that was fun when I did it. No, we're going strong. Like, we're doing these. I'm recording these weekly. Like, I'm editing them. I'm having fun. I'm posting on the TikTok page. We're doing all that kind of stuff. So thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Continue to interact, continue to comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff to the YouTube page. Follow the TikTok page. Like, we're growing in followers slowly, and I just appreciate all the support with that. And of course, follow the podcast and like the podcast, share the podcast, all that fun jazz on Spotify. So as always, I'll be here. I've had one guest before, may have guests in the future. We shall see. But this was the Oscar prediction episode. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll see everybody next time.